Welcome to Scunthorpe. I'm here at Glanford Park, the home of Scunthorpe United. Let's have a quick look now. This is Glanford Park, home of Scunthorpe United Football Club. They've been here since 1899 and at this ground here since 1988. Currently playing in the National League North, but 14 to 15 years ago they were as high up as the Championship, playing against sides like Leeds and Wolves. With high-profile ex-players such as Kevin Keegan and Ray Clements, Scunthorpe United have got a heritage of bringing on good players. Cricketer Ian Botham also played 11 games in 1980. There's a good community feel about Scunthorpe United. Their 4,000 supporters each week are happy too. Right, let's go into town now. I do love a good tree carving. This is pretty stylish here at the museum. That's good to see. Here we have the North Lincolnshire Museum here in Scunthorpe. I'm just going to go and have a look now and see what there is to celebrate about Scunthorpe and North Lincolnshire. There's also the War Memorial here, remembering our glorious dead, 1914 to 1918 and 1939 to 1945. Rest in peace. I'm in the North Lincolnshire Museum here. I'm looking round about the history of the ironworks in the area here. So let's explore, let's find out, let's see what's good about Scunthorpe here. There's lots of history, lots of information, so let's see what there is. There's a painting here, and it says on the description next to it, this oil painting was by Gwyneth Wilkinson in 1975, showing the picket line at the Anchor Steelworks site that took place in 1972. They went on strike due to deaths caused by poor health and safety regulations. But let's look about other stories here. So ironworking began in Scunthorpe in 1859 when Roland Wynne found ironstone on his family's estate. And there had been ironstone working by the Romans. Lots of history here. You can see the blast furnaces. Lots of history here. And it's a big reminder that steelworks, very much a working class industry, but these are people who put their lives on the line to help people get things ready for the country. In the 1960s, Scunthorpe employed over 25,000 people in the steel industry. Wow. And there's some of the mementos here. Have you ever seen these signs, these plaques before, these casts? It's just a memory of the days gone by. This one here for Redbourne Hill, 1872 to 1972. Just shows how many people have been involved with this over the years. One of the most famous structures in the world, Sydney Harbour Bridge. It was completed in 1932 and is the world's largest steel arch bridge. Most of that steel came from Scunthorpe. Wembley Stadium, reopened in 2007 after it was rebuilt, home of England's national football teams. Over 20,000 tonnes of steel was used to build the stadium, most of which came from Scunthorpe. The Lovell Telescope at the Jodrell Bank Observatory in Cheshire, completed in 1957 with steel produced, guess where? Here in Scunthorpe. It is the world's largest steerable dish radio telescope. And that's here from Scunthorpe. There's a lot of history. And it wasn't just men who worked in the steelworks and the ironworks. During the Second World War, when men left the steelworks in Scunthorpe to go and fight, the women started working to keep the production of steel going. Without women filling the jobs left by the men, Britain may have lost the war. Women of steel. Here's a plaque here in memory to the workmates who died in the Queen Victoria blast furnace disaster in November 1975, 50 years ago. Wow, Rest in peace. The museum's a great place to go. It's memories of days gone by. There's a section here about the war and what happened there, who was involved with it, the activities they did, how they lived back then during such appalling times, how they'd have to evacuate and how they would go about it, the air raid sirens, the home guard. Without places like this museum, these memories would be gone. People don't talk about it enough, but this is what life used to be like back in the day. So when the air raid sirens used to go off, you had to go into the bunkers in the shelters. It was dark, it was cold, and it was small. You'd have multiple people in here, hearing the noise of things flying above. Imagine if you were a little child hearing this. Wow. I really enjoyed going around the North Lincolnshire Museum there. That was really fascinating. It's not often I call into the museums when I go somewhere, but that is definitely a good one. If you're in the area, come to North Lincolnshire Museum. It's good. Scunthorpe's good. Come to Scunny. It's good. As I'm walking along the roads here in Scunthorpe, it's nice. The buildings, they're well utilised. This area here, there's not many that are closed or not open at the moment. There's all different kinds of businesses. It's busy, it's active. People around, people are coming here. There's lots here. I like it. I've seen all different types of cuisine for restaurants and takeaways. There's all different things coming on. There's even the emergency dentist I went to last year as well. Everything is in Scunny. And in every town we go to, there's very much a staple in each location. There's always a Wetherspoons. The Wetherspoons here is called the Blue Bell Inn, and it's tastefully painted in two-tone blue here as well for the Blue Bell Inn. So you can tell about a community once you see their facilities. Public toilets here. You've got well-maintained gardens outside it. You've got the nightclub here called the Light Nightclub, open Friday and Saturday night, open till 6 AM. Wow, there must be demand for people to party all night here in Scunny. That's good. Keep on partying, Scunny people. There's so many little independent shops along here, and they're all doing well. The business is booming along here. There's so many shops and people are going into them all throughout the day here. It's a Friday afternoon here, but there's people driving along, parking up, nipping into the shops, getting a haircut, getting some food for the weekend. It's busy. It's good. It's nice. You've got some of the old traditional shops like electronic and computer parts here. Then you've got an old bike shop here. Then a technology shop. Across the road you've got international mini markets, barbers, local stores, supermarkets are selling food from all over the world. Right next to a church, and right next to the church is a mosque. There's people from all over the place enjoying life here in Scunthorpe. There's this war memorial here which has got a good story about it. Let's have a look now and look closer at what it says. It says, "The last dispatch. Duty done, victory won, now for peace, everyone carry on." But it's the next panel I want to read about. Let's have a look at this. During the Great War, the schoolboys collected waste materials all over the district, and with the money realised thereon, bought war saving certificates, which in 1923 were converted into this monument as a humble tribute to the memory of the old boys of this school. and of all from this parish who sacrificed their life during the war. His unwearied labours, his lifetime of purpose, inspired his pupils to erect this memorial. G. Taylor, headmaster. Rest in peace. And it's here on this site which it says Old School Row. So this school war memorial, and this must have been where the school was, on Frodingham Road in Scunthorpe. Here you've got Mulligan Sports Bar. It looks a busy place, this, revelling in the history of people from the area wanting to come and play pool, snooker, darts, and enjoy their downtime together. I particularly like in this mural on the side of the bar here, the gents taking their pool cues in to go and enjoy their evening. That's good to see. Working class people enjoying their downtime. And Mulligan Sports Bar used to be the Scunthorpe Working Men's Social Club and Institute from 1911. Wow, over 100 years old. Fantastic. I'm now in Scunthorpe Town Centre. Behind me is the Foundry shopping centre. But already I've seen something that I like the look of. Looking here on the floor, you've got all these games for kids to play. Rather than just running around and causing chaos, you've got little games and little mazes for them to do. Follow the lines through. There's bits where they can do hopscotch here, or run round, hopping around these different bits and pieces around here. Just a small thing here is looking after people's welfare, people's activities, and keeping them active while they're out and about, while their parents and their families are shopping. I like that. Here we have the Scunthorpe Steelworkers sculpture from 2018, I believe, dedicated to all the past and present steelworkers and their families from Scunthorpe and surrounding areas, for those who spent their working lives keeping steel production flowing through the Second World War. To their contribution to the war effort, the British economy, and to the building of this town, to those who were injured or lost their lives in service on the steelworks. This is a debt that can never be repaid, but will never be forgotten. Scunthorpe Steelworkers sculpture. And here they are. It's good. I like it. As I look at the town, there's Specsavers, there's O2, there's Subway, there's Card Factory, there's Holland and Barrett, there's Greggs, there's Boots. There's all the regular shops that you'd expect in a town centre. And it's Friday afternoon, people are using them, people are walking around, getting their shopping and ready for the weekend. That's good to see. It's also good to see that there's trees in the shopping arcade here as well. Rather than just concrete, there's trees, there's life. It's good. Oh, this looks like a challenge to me. See how far I can jump from here. How far do you reckon? Here, on the 0. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh! 1.2 metres. Wow. Woo! See? Scunny's fun. 1.2 metres, who'd have thought that? There's a nice big Primark here. Making sure people have got everything they need in the area. That's good. Lots of choices. There's definitely a fair lot of range of shops and opportunities here. It's good. The shopping centre goes on for a fair bit down this main drag here. There's lots of options. There's even a place where you can get giant hot dogs for £2.50. Now, who do you think would like a giant hot dog for £2.50? Let me think. I always like it when town centres have somewhere where you can shelter for when the rain turns. This nice clock here, a nice rest area outside the El Toro Cafe. When it rains, you can stay dry. That is good. A lot of northern working class towns have town centres where there's lots of clothes shops. But in Scunthorpe, there aren't many because people are coming here, they're shopping, they're using them. The business models of places that are open are working because people are coming and using their businesses. I like that. There's a good mixture between independent and chains, and it seems to be good. Seems to be good options. That's nice. And here we have the Elizabeth Quarter, which looks like a new office block area. I don't know what that's going to be, but it's certainly new. And that's next to some other newer buildings. We've got Scunthorpe Central here, and that's the North Lincolnshire registration service there, amongst other things. There's the library in there, as well as local studies and access to all different kinds of advice and citizens' advice in there as well, which is good to see. I like this balcony area here. It's as if it's held up by nothing, as if it's just magic. All these are council buildings here apparently, and there's plans to get them into greater use. They're certainly attractive, and wow, turn the corner. Doof, 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 doof. Who knew? Wow, what a lovely looking church. Next to the 2021 Visual Arts Centre. Now I've heard about this, so let's go and explore. I do like when civic buildings look impressive. There's the flagpoles outside here, outside Church Square House. But this church definitely, I like that. That's good. Let's find out a bit more. So it looks like this old church building is part of the Visual Arts Centre. Wow. Now I'm all for repurposing buildings, especially fine items such as this one. Let's go and find out what the story is behind it. This is good. Scunthorpe's exciting. The parish church of St John the Evangelist was completed in 1891 at a cost of just £20,000. It is built of Frodingham ironstone. Sadly, congregations attending the church dwindled, and the last service was held in April 1984. The church stood derelict for over 16 years. All sorts of schemes were proposed for the empty building, but it was decided a visual arts centre would be created. In May 2001, the 2021 Visual Arts Centre opened. It was called because the funding application to build the centre started in the 20th century and the project came to fruition in the 21st. Not only is it an amazing opportunity for local artists and creators to display their works, but there's a lot of community work that's happening here as well. Lots of work to encourage creative arts and the visual arts world here in Scunthorpe, Lincolnshire and the wider area. It's not just ironworks that can bond a community, but creativity and opportunity can as well. I've included the links to the North Lincolnshire Museum and the 2021 Visual Arts Centre in the description of this video, so please have a look at those afterwards. But here is the display that was on when I went. It's Chad McHale all together now. The general premise of this is it is a sprawling imaginary cityscape installation called Toy. Factories, farms, churches, military installations being recreated on a miniature scale in cardboard, wood, insulation foam and papier-mâché. In this fantasy landscape, a war is being fought between the many and the few, not only for control of the city, but for the very idea of freedom. Wow. It's very thought-provoking walking around here and seeing this installation. I liked seeing the detail in every single one of the pieces. It's a thought-provoking piece. It's a thought-provoking piece of work. What would your city landscape look like if you were to do something like this? Sometimes we need to let our imaginations run and run and run and explore the possibilities. And it's amazing when you can get to see this in the visual arts world like this. and it's through the 2021 Visual Arts Centre here in Scunthorpe you can get to see this and many other ideas all throughout the year. There's more to Scunthorpe than iron. Personally, seeing these works of art and this amazing dedication to creating something beautiful for other people is even more great when you look at the building. The fact that this building dates back to 1891. There's so many memories in this building, and there's so many memories still to come with the possibilities here onwards. You need to use buildings. You need to have creativity, and passion comes from within these places to make something even better. Well done, Scunthorpe. If you're in the area, please go and visit. There's even a lovely garden area out here, so once you've had a look round the Visual Arts Centre, you can have a nice sit down, have a cuppa, have a nice cup of coffee, and then you can relax and see. You can see a nice big pink horse. This is stylish, isn't it? Another one of the exhibits here. Let's read what it says here. This is Rafferty. Welcome to Horsing Around, a sculpture trail around North Lincolnshire to celebrate the 300th anniversary of the birth of George Stubbs. This is Rafferty. Oh, what a beauty. And this here, this is part of the original door area to the nave of the building that we've just been in at the Art Centre, and it's stylish. They did used to make some amazing things back in the day, and it's great when places like the 2021 Visual Arts Centre make the most of it and celebrate it and do all they can to share it with other people. Fantastic. Great work. So across the road is the Frodingham Parish Hall. And then here we have St Lawrence of Frodingham, a beautiful church that is right next to North Lincolnshire Museum, where we started earlier on. It's a nice little place, this. It's delightful. One thing I like about the grounds here is there's lots of little flowers, little seeds. The bulbs are coming out. Let's have a closer look now. There we are. The bulbs all round the grounds. They're beautiful. There we have lots of snowdrops. Beautiful. Across the road from me here is the Baths Hall, which is the concert venue for Scunthorpe. Now, there's lots of different artists coming here in the coming months. You've got Paddy McGuinness, you've got the Queen's Disco, you've got Elvis Tribute Act, you've got Chubby Brown, you've got That'll Be the Day, you've got Bad Girls. There's so much going on here at the Baths Hall. Now, if you think that these artists are coming to Scunthorpe to see the people, to be available for the people of Scunthorpe and the surrounding areas, if they can come here, why don't you come here as well? Scunthorpe's a good place. There's lots here. So much to see and do here at Scunthorpe. It's good. And that just about wraps up my visit to Scunthorpe today. I've really enjoyed my visit here. The people are really friendly. I can definitely recommend North Lincolnshire Museum and the 2021 Visual Arts Centre as well. They are definitely worth visiting and going along to see. If you're in the area, come to Scunthorpe. Scunthorpe's good. I'm Rich Lord. You've been watching Rich Lord Travels, going round Scunthorpe. It's a great place. Come along, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye for now. Ding!